The hunt began as a whisper in the Force. While crushing a cell of rebels near Tatooine, Darth Vader felt something strange beneath the fear and smoke. It was not one presence, but two. Two bright sparks, hidden yet familiar, pulsing with a bond he had not sensed since Padme. That feeling stayed with him long after the battle ended. Instead of reporting to Coruscant, Vader turned his shuttle back toward the Outer Rim. He searched old records, local births, sealed Imperial files, and forgotten names from the last days of the Republic. Every trail seemed broken on purpose. Every answer led to silence. Yet the Force kept pulling him toward one desert world and one distant Senate family. On Tatooine, he watched a farm boy from the shadows. Luke Skywalker was reckless, impatient, and far stronger in the Force than he knew. Vader saw Anakin in the boy's movements. The same fire, the same hunger to leave. Then, on Alderaan, through spies and intercepted messages, he studied Princess Leia Organa. She carried herself like a ruler already, sharp-eyed and fearless, with Padme's strength hidden behind royal control. The truth struck him like a blade. Padme had not lost everything. She had given birth before dying. The children had lived. And with truth came a grief he had buried beneath armor and ash. For the first time in years, Vader's rage broke open and revealed something colder: hope. Palpatine had lied, or perhaps he had never known. Either way, the Emperor could not be allowed to find them first. If he did, the twins would become tools, or worse, sacrifices. So Vader made a choice that would shake the Empire. He erased his search from Imperial systems, silenced the officers who knew too much, and set a private course for both worlds. Because now the Dark Lord was no longer hunting rebels. He was hunting his own children. And somewhere in the darkness, Obi-Wan Kenobi felt Vader moving at last. Vader moved quickly because he understood one cruel truth. If he hesitated, the future would belong to Palpatine. So he struck both worlds with precision, using only loyal troops, masked orders, and sealed commands that never reached Imperial High Command. On Tatooine, the attack came at sunset. Sand troopers surrounded the Lars homestead before Luke even understood he was in danger. Owen reached for a rifle. Beru screamed for Luke to run. Vader entered through smoke and blaster fire like a black storm. Owen fired once and missed. Vader answered with a single stroke. Beru fell moments later. Luke rushed forward in anger, grabbing a loose tool as if it were a weapon, and Vader froze him in place with the Force. The boy fought even then. He kicked, shouted, and demanded answers. Vader said only, "You come with me." Something in that voice chilled Luke more than the armor did. Hours later on Alderaan, Leia Organa vanished from a diplomatic convoy. Her guards never saw the strike team arrive. Vader stepped into her transport himself, blocking the exit before she could escape. Leia did not beg. She glared at him and demanded to know why the Empire would abduct a senator's daughter. Vader studied her defiance and gave no answer. By dawn, both twins were aboard his Star Destroyer, separated by steel walls and watched by men who did not know their names mattered. Luke burned with grief and confusion. Neither child understood the sorrow beneath Vader's silence. Leia hid her fear behind cold silence, already testing every weakness in her captors. Vader stood alone in his chamber, hearing both of them through the Force like twin echoes of a life he had lost. He told himself this was protection. He told himself he was saving them. But across the galaxy, Alderaan cried out, Tatooine whispered of massacre, and a message reached Coruscant sooner than Vader expected. The Emperor asked a simple question. Why had Lord Vader acted without permission? Vader knew suspicion had already begun. Palpatine did not need facts to sense betrayal. He only needed silence, delay, and the slightest change in Vader's obedience. So the Dark Lord built a lie faster than the Emperor could build doubt. He reported that the Tatooine raid had uncovered stolen rebel codes. He claimed the Alderaan seizure was tied to a wider network of traitors inside the Senate. Most important, he never spoke the twins' names. In official records, Luke became Subject Auric, Leia became Subject Besh, 2 prisoners, 2 possible Force-sensitive assets, nothing more. Then Vader took them somewhere, no Imperial map openly marked, an abandoned fortress buried in the storms of Vijun. It was a place of old pain and older secrets, cut off from court politics and curious eyes. There, he kept the twins under heavy guard, but not in chains. He ordered tutors, medical staff, and training droids. He wanted them hidden from everyone else. Luke demanded answers every day. Leia demanded freedom every hour. Vader gave neither. Yet he watched them constantly. He saw Luke's anger flare, then cool into questions. He saw Leia study every hallway, every schedule, every face. She was already planning for the moment the walls cracked. In private, Vader stood before them without speaking, as if searching their faces for pieces of Padme he could still recognize. Sometimes he almost told them the truth, but fear stopped him. Not fear of them. Fear that if they knew what he had become, they would hate him before he could change anything. Palpatine's first summons came 3 days later. Vader ignored it. The second came with a sharper tone. Vader delayed again. By the third, the Emperor no longer asked for a report. He ordered Vader to bring his prisoners to Coruscant at once. Vader looked toward the closed doors behind which his children waited. Then he shut off the transmission. And for the first time since Mustafar, Darth Vader defied his master. Life inside the fortress became a battle of minds long before it became a battle of blades. Vader kept Luke and Leia apart at first, fearing what they might become together. But the Force kept drawing them together. When the twins finally met, the connection was immediate. Luke felt relief, as if part of himself had been missing since birth. Leia felt the same, though she hid it behind caution. They spoke in whispers, sharing scraps of memory, fear, and half-formed guesses about why Vader wanted them alive. Luke watched Vader more closely than Leia did. Beneath the armor, he sensed conflict, pain, regret, something buried under years of hatred. During one training session, Luke reached for a dropped practice saber, and Vader stopped him with the Force. For a brief second, their minds touched. Luke saw fire, a woman crying, a blue blade, and a man screaming in lava-lit darkness. He staggered back, shaken. Vader ended the lesson at once. "He is not what he pretends to be," Luke told Leia later. Leia's answer was sharp. "He murdered our family on Tatooine and stole me from Alderaan. Whatever he was, it does not matter now." Luke could not ignore it. There was darkness in Vader, yes, but not emptiness. Some part of Anakin Skywalker still lived. Leia reached a different conclusion. If Vader was divided, then he could be exploited. She began mapping guard changes, stealing access codes, and testing how far Luke's strange connection to their captor might help them escape. Then Obi-Wan's presence brushed Luke's mind like a fading signal through a storm. It was weak, distant, but real. Kenobi was alive and searching. Luke wanted to wait. Leia refused. That night, she triggered a blackout across the fortress and led their escape through smoke and screaming alarms. Vader felt them running. And as Luke turned back toward the shadow chasing them, he realized the next choice would decide whether he lost his father or found him. The escape failed before it truly began. Leia's blackout blinded cameras and turrets, but it could not blind the Force. Vader intercepted the twins in a hangar filled with sparks, smoke, and half-open blast doors. Stormtroopers rushed in behind him, only to stop when he lifted one hand. Leia ignited a stolen training saber anyway. The blade shook in her grip, but her eyes never did. Luke stepped beside her, unarmed yet ready. For one breathless second, Vader saw not prisoners, but his children standing against him together. Then, a colder presence entered the hangar. Palpatine had come in person. The Emperor moved through the smoke like a shadow that had finally found its prey. His yellow eyes swept from Luke to Leia, and in that instant, every lie Vader had built collapsed. "So," Palpatine said, "this is what you tried to hide from me." Vader dropped to one knee, but not in surrender. Palpatine sensed it and smiled. Leia felt the danger first. The old man radiated hunger deeper than Vader's anger. Luke felt something worse, recognition. As if the darkness before him had been shaping this path long before any of them were born. The Emperor spoke to the twins as if they were prizes won. He promised power, truth, and freedom from Vader's lies. Then he turned the blade deeper. He revealed that Vader was their father. Once Anakin Skywalker, fallen hero of the Republic and butcher of the Jedi. Luke stood frozen. Leia looked at Vader with open shock, then fury. Palpatine fed on the moment. He ordered the guards to seize the children and commanded Vader to stand aside. Vader rose instead, calm, certain, and ready. His lightsaber came alive with a violent hiss. The hangar fell silent. Palpatine's smile faded into delight. This was the conflict he had been waiting for. And as lightning began to gather at the Emperor's fingertips, Luke understood that their father's secret rebellion had just become an open war. The hangar exploded into chaos. Palpatine's lightning crashed across the deck, forcing Luke and Leia apart as Vader drove forward to meet his master. Blue fire clawed over black armor, but Vader kept advancing, saber raised, each step fueled by years of buried hatred. Vader was not protecting the Empire. He was fighting it for them. He shouted for Luke and Leia to run. Leia grabbed Luke's arm and pulled him toward a side corridor, but Luke resisted. He could feel Vader weakening under the Emperor's assault. He could also feel something else, a pull toward action, toward destiny, toward the man he had just learned was his father. "Come on!" Leia yelled. Luke shook free. "I can help him." That single choice split the twins. Leia escaped into the fortress network, where frightened staff and uncertain soldiers were already choosing sides. She used stolen codes to open cells, release prisoners, and broadcast one brutal truth across local channels. Darth Vader had defied the Emperor, and the Empire was turning on itself. Nearby rebel cells picked it up. Sympathizers on Alderaan heard it. Even senators loyal to the throne began to panic. Meanwhile, Luke ran back into the Inferno. He found Vader locked in a savage duel with the Emperor among burning wreckage and fallen guards. Palpatine sensed the boy and changed tactics at once. He promised Luke answers. He offered him the power to save Vader, to save Leia, to end the war by taking control of it. Vader roared for Luke to ignore him. But Luke stepped closer, torn between compassion and anger. He wanted to save his father. He wanted to punish the monster who had broken him. That conflict blazed so brightly that Palpatine laughed. Far above, Leia stole a shuttle and fled into space, carrying stolen data and a message for the rebellion. Below, Luke lifted a fallen lightsaber, and father and son turned toward the same enemy, while fearing what the other might become. Leia's message tore across the galaxy like a spark in dry grass. Rebel leaders could hardly believe it. Darth Vader had broken with the Emperor. Fleets were receiving contradictory orders. For the first time in years, the Empire looked weak. Palpatine unleashed his full fury, not just against Vader, but against Luke. The Emperor understood the boy's heart too well. Luke's need to save his father made him vulnerable. So Palpatine struck where hope hurt most. He blasted Vader to the floor, hurled debris into Luke's path, and whispered that compassion was only another chain. Luke attacked anyway. He was raw, fast, and reckless. Nothing like a trained Sith. but powerful enough to matter. Vader rose beside him through pain and broken armor, and for one impossible moment, father and son fought as one. Red and blue light crossed in the smoke. The Emperor gave ground. Yet Palpatine still controlled the battlefield. He turned Luke's anger back on him, forcing him into harder strikes, crueler choices, deeper fury. Vader saw the trap instantly. If the duel continued, Luke would either die or win by becoming exactly what Palpatine wanted. Vader threw himself between Luke and the Emperor's next storm of lightning. The blast tore through his armor systems and dropped him to one knee. Palpatine advanced for the kill, certain that Skywalker had finally spent the last of his strength. Instead, Vader moved. With one brutal surge, he seized the Emperor, locked both arms around him, and drove forward through shattered railing and flame. Master and apprentice crashed into the reactor shaft below, as lightning filled the chamber like a dying sun. Luke screamed and reached after them, but only darkness answered. Then, the fortress began to collapse. As alarms wailed, Luke staggered toward an escape route, dragging his father's broken mask from the floor. And far above the burning clouds, Leia turned her shuttle back toward Vune because she refused to leave her brother to face the end alone. Vizhun burned, but the war only widened. Leia returned with rebel ships just as the fortress started to fall apart. Imperial destroyers were dropping from hyperspace, unsure whether to save the Emperor, kill Vader, or erase every witness. In that confusion, the battle spread from the surface to orbit, and the sky over Vune became a storm of green fire and shattered metal. Luke survived the collapse by instinct more than skill. He fought through ruptured corridors, failing power fields, and squads of panicked troopers who no longer knew whose orders mattered. In his hands he carried Vader's mask, the last proof that Anakin Skywalker had chosen his children over the dark side. Then, deep in the ruins, he felt it. A pulse, weak, burning, alive. Luke found him half buried beneath steel and stone near the edge of the reactor pit. The breathing machine stuttered. For the first time, Luke saw the man beneath the myth, scarred, broken, and fading. Anakin looked up at his son and asked only one question. Did Leia escape? When Luke said yes, something peaceful crossed his father's face. But peace did not last. Palpatine had survived as well, sustained by pure hatred. His guards were closing in. So were Imperial reinforcements. Around them, rebels and loyalists were dying by the hundreds, while command across the Empire fractured into civil war. Leia reached the chamber moments later, with blaster in hand and disbelief in her eyes. She had every reason to hate the man before her, yet here he was, dying to hold back the evil he once served. Anakin gave them a final warning. Palpatine would not retreat. He would burn whole systems to keep control. Then he pushed Luke's saber toward both of them. Together. That was all he said. And as the Emperor climbed from the fire below, the twins stood side by side, ready to decide whether the galaxy would be saved or consumed in the last war of the Skywalkers.